Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Isolated Historian, the show where we analyze historical eras and figures throughout time. My name is Matthew, and today I will discuss Captain Henry Avery, one of the most famous pirates for being the man responsible for setting off the first worldwide manhunt. Now, let's jump into today's episode. Avery was born in West England near Plymouth in Devonshire. He served as the first mate of a merchant ship named the Duke, which was commanded by Captain Gibson. Avery proposed a plan to run away with the ship and spoke of great wealth off the coast of India. The crew agreed and planned to follow through the following night. Captain Gibson was a heavy drinker and spent most of his time on shore. Captain Gibson, however, was not on shore as expected, but still had drinking the regular amount that day, so the plan went ahead. Avery arrived with 16 additional men to help take the ship. Gibson and his crew were asleep when boarded. It was imperative for Avery to avoid the ships in the harbor because they would attack on sight if they had found out what happened. And here is where Avery's journey begins. Avery offered Gibson to join his quest for fortune and glory or be left to shore. He and 5 or 6 other men left Avery. The rest stayed on and went to Madagascar. Shortly after leaving Madagascar, Avery amassed a large fleet, including pirates like Thomas Tew, William Watt, William May, Joseph Farrell, and Thomas Wake. The video game Uncharted 4 utilizes these real pirates who took part of the raid within their game, in addition to some other real pirates scattered throughout. But that's a topic for another episode. During the months of August and September, large amounts of silver and other trade goods made their way through the Red Sea, making them a huge target for pirates. Avery and his fleet successfully sacked 2 ships who were part of an Indian treasure fleet on their way home from the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca on September 7th, 1695. These 2 ships that were caught by Avery's fleet at the mouth of the Red Sea were the Fateh Muhammad and the Ganji Sawai. The Fateh Muhammad, owned by a wealthy shipping magnate, Abdul Ghaffar, was a 6-gun merchant ship escorting the main treasure ship, the Ganji Sawai. It was estimated it had anywhere from 50 to 60,000 pounds worth of gold and silver aboard. On the other hand, the Ganji Sawai, owned by Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, was a massive royal treasure ship outfitted with 80 guns, 800 pilgrims, and 400 to 500 soldiers. This was considered to be one of the largest and safest ships in all of India, despite being better equipped and having more manpower than Avery's ship, the Fancy. These 2 vessels fell easily to the English pirates, who were vastly outnumbered by the Mughals. 17th century Indian historian Kafi Khan notes that the Ganji Sawai was taken because of the cowardice of its captain, Ibrahim Khan. The pirates were able to make off to the island of Reunion off the coast of Madagascar with a total of about 325,000 pounds worth of gold, silver, Indian rupees, jewels, aloe, frankincense, myrrh, ivory, saffron, which was worth around $68,948,800.57 in euros, or $97,121,280.48 in US dollars. In addition to looting the ships, the pirates tortured the pilgrims and raped the women, which further angered Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb on top of losing tons of money. In retaliation, the Mughal government placed an embargo on English trade. According to Indian historian Kafi Khan, the English knew about the piracy and used the riches they plundered to fund their settlements and trading operations, despite the widespread understanding of English sources portraying them as victims of piracy. This embargo placed lots of pressure on the East India Company. Trading posts were closed, company officials imprisoned, and the key outpost at Surat, which took a crippling loss already with the capture of the Ganji Sawai. The East India Company responded by placing 1,000-pound bounties on Avery and his men, despite the Indian government already placing bounties on the pirates far before the English. This enacted the world's first worldwide manhunt in history, declaring pirates hostis humani generis, or enemies of all mankind. Avery and his crew then disbanded and moved to different parts of the Americas. He lived in Biddeford under a pseudonym, informing only 1 or 2 people of his whereabouts. Avery traveled to Bristol to get his money since he did not have enough to live. He was threatened by the merchants, and he then traveled to Ireland as a beggar. Avery worked on a trading vessel for passage to Biddeford, where he died, not even having enough to afford a coffin. A recent article has surfaced about the Arabian 17th century silver coins found in an orchard in Rhode Island and broken pottery with Queen Mary portrayed on them. These artifacts were discovered in 2014 and are believed to have been plundered by Avery himself in a 1695 raid on Muslims sailing home to India from a pilgrimage to Mecca. This could explain how Avery escaped while being the most wanted man in the world by posing as a slave trader. These coins provide evidence that Avery traveled to the American colonies and used these coins for daily expenses while on the run. The coins were minted in Yemen in 1693, which is decades before the New World travelers ever made it to the Middle East. 10 coins were discovered in Massachusetts, 3 in Rhode Island, and 2 in Connecticut. Another coin was found in North Carolina, where it is believed Avery and his men landed first. Avery was able to pass as a slave trader, which was a growing profession at the time. On his way to the Bahamas, he stopped at a French island and purchased slaves to look the part. A ship named the Seaflower, used by Avery and his crew, had almost 4 dozen slaves aboard. He left the Fancy in Newport, Rhode Island. Research shows the American colonies were hubs for pirate activity. The Arabian coins are some of the oldest found in North America, and these findings provide new information on one of the greatest criminal mysteries in history. Thank you all for listening. We hope you learned something interesting from today's episode. Let us know what you thought and what we should do next. Until next time, this has been the Isolated Historian.